What is going on, everybody? And in this video I wanted to go over my first impressions on the Modern Warfare 2 beta here. So I have to admit a couple of things though. I know I've been noticing a lot of negativity with the game and all that, some things people don't like and like some things a lot of people do like about it. So I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on this game so far. So I have to admit I have been playing the beta a good amount this past weekend here on the PlayStation 5, and I have not encountered really any bugs whatsoever with it. I know there was like an in the wall glitch or something on one of the maps. I luckily haven't ran into anybody actually using that map glitch, but I can definitely see how that might be pretty annoying to go against. Now, I do want to go over some positives with the game and then maybe a couple of negatives as well. Plus, I might end up doing more videos about this in the second weekend of the beta as well. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some things on this game that are really going to make you wonder, especially if you guys have played older Call of Duties like Modern Warfare 2019, or even Vanguard for that matter as well, but personally, I've been really enjoying the overall game so far. For example, I do feel like the gunplay on Modern Warfare 2 is going to be really good, even like Modern Warfare 2019, with all the really bad flaws that game I know did have. I really do think this game's going to be really good when it comes to gunplay. I mean, every weapon I've used so far, which is basically all the ones you can actually use in the first weekend of the beta. And there will also be more weapons in the second weekend of the beta as well. But for me, I've been pretty much enjoying every single weapon I have used in the first weekend of this beta so far. For one, the FSS Hurricane is probably one of my favorite SMGs in the entire game. Having a 50 round mag on that gun and being able to put a sight on it, after actually getting it leveled up and all that once you unlock it from the little weapon tree there. Being able to use some of these weapons and put attachments on them, I really do think is going to give players a general idea of how it all works. Maybe some ways they can level up the weapons. Plus, we have the new receiver system, which I really do think that's going to be a really good positive in this game, especially for the ones who do want to grind out camos. I do think having the receiver on the weapons is going to make this a lot easier, especially getting them leveled up a little bit quicker, and also having different attachments on certain weapons that are in the same family there is probably going to make this a lot more fun as well. One thing I have also been noticing when playing the beta a good amount is the fact that every single weapon sounds so good as well, guys. I really do love the gun sounds in Modern Warfare 2.
Domination. Stress 1. Your task is to start taking Bravo. Bravo secure. We have cleared. Bravo. Hostile UAV in the area. We're losing Bravo. Enemy controlled
Reloading.
The enemy has captured 2 objectives. Move. Secure Bravo.
I'm reloading.
It does remind me a bit of Modern Warfare 2019, obviously, because of, well, it's the same engine and all that, like an upgraded version of that game. But I might be imagining things, but I would say the weapons on the Modern Warfare 2 beta are probably going to sound better than the guns in 2019 did. At least that's what I have been noticing when running around with many different guns and firing through like alleyways or being in like a building. The sound's definitely a lot better, and it's honestly going to be really cool to hear that. Now, one thing I also wanted to go over in this video is going to be the movement on Modern Warfare 2. So I'm sure a lot of players jumped in, including myself, and they're like, my goodness, this game feels kind of clunky and kind of weird and slow. But honestly, after playing it a good amount and actually hitting level 15 and stuff, I did notice that, well, maybe the movement isn't as bad as I initially thought it was going to be, because I'm not going to lie, my first couple of games I was like, man, this game feels really slow and kind of clunky, but then after playing it for a bit, it did honestly feel kind of good, and it really wasn't all that bad. I know the slide canceling thing has been annoying a lot of players and all that, but who knows, maybe not having the slide canceling thing on Modern Warfare 2 might actually be a good thing. We can all agree everybody was sliding all over the place on 2019, spamming the crap out of that. My goodness, it was a little ridiculous. I think every single one of my teammates on Search and Destroy would basically spam it every single time. I personally would also do the same thing because, well, you can kind of slide around and get around a little bit easier, have different movement to get away from gunfire, but maybe it's a good thing it's not really on here. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below of not being able to slide cancel. I know that's probably going to annoy some players, and I might look into this a little bit more. One of the things I did find pretty fun to do though is dolphin diving. I did notice they did obviously add that. It definitely brought me back to the Black Ops 2 days because my goodness, being able to like fly through the air and get behind cover is honestly hilarious looking, but also very helpful as well in a lot of different ways. Now for me, I've basically only been playing quick play, which basically gives you access to domination and team deathmatch. I've been having a lot of good games on there and obviously some very interesting ones because of the skill-based matchmaking, which I'm planning on doing a separate video about the skill-based matchmaking, most likely dropping later this week, so definitely stay tuned for that. I'm not going to lie though guys, a quick little run through of it. I have noticed how it can affect your games, but from what I have seen, it might be a little bit better than Modern Warfare 2019, unless I'm tripping. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about that, but personally, I do think it's going to be a little bit better. I did find myself having a lot more fun on the Modern Warfare 2 beta because I don't know what it was, I just felt like I was having a lot more matches that were actually enjoyable. But don't get me wrong though, I also found myself getting into matches where people would run around corners and jump into me with an MP5 or like jump like a bunny. I honestly felt like a lot of the episodes of Battlefield Friends back in the day trying to find the bunny in the back of the video. Because my goodness, everybody is jumping around like a bunch of crazy rabbits, but besides that, I do think it's going to be really fun, and I'm honestly not really upset about the people jumping around that much. I was honestly more annoyed by all the people sliding around on Modern Warfare 2019, so maybe it's going to be a little bit better this way. Now, one of the last things I wanted to talk about in this video with first impressions is going to be the new perk system. I'm sure a lot of players are probably wondering why they actually did this to the perks and or like what is going on with them. I'm sure everybody is probably going to be running the Ghost perk because you kind of have to run it. It's almost like a crutch now, and I wonder if they're going to change it or do something with it in the actual game. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below, because personally, I would say everybody's probably going to be running the Ghost perk because you kind of have to. It is honestly just that good, and the fact that you can literally sit somewhere and you're off of the radar is probably going to make that a big difference. And if you are on a kill streak, obviously the Ghost perk is going to make a big difference there, but now, I did notice you actually start the match with 4 of the perks, and I guess the second perk you get like 4 minutes into the game or something like that, and then the ultimate perk, quote-unquote, is going to come like 8 minutes later into the match or something, which is kind of weird. I'm really not sure what they were thinking with the new perk system. I'm not going to lie, though. I don't actually hate how the perk system is going to work on Modern Warfare 2, but I do think it's going to take definitely some time to get used to, and I'm sure the devs are going to have to take another look at that Ghost perk because my goodness, a lot of players are not going to be happy about that. For one though, I really do like the double time perk because you can run a little bit quicker and you can like increase the tactical sprint or whatever, which definitely does help you get around pretty fast. I do like having that feature. It does kind of make the game feel like a little bit faster than what it actually is. But that'll basically do it for this video, guys. Overall, I have to admit, I know the Modern Warfare 2 beta is probably going to have some flaws to it and or the game in general. I'm also planning on doing more videos on the Modern Warfare 2 beta, most likely in the second weekend when the beta is actually live. I do want to go over like the skill-based matchmaking and give you guys my thoughts on the maps so far as well. But besides that, as I did mention before, I am having a pretty dang good time with the beta, even though there is going to be some flaws with this overall.